Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we'll jump in and do the uranium technical analysis update. I'll give you my financial opinion and we'll go right into it. So we've got uranium futures here. We've been pulling back in the past couple of weeks. We are now trying to put in a little bit of a bottom here. This is a bullish piercing pattern of last week. So hopefully we can get a little bit of momentum to the upside. Small down day, down to $47. We've got the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. This does look like it wants to head me. Oh man, this is a rough one to read. We came on up, but there's no bounce here. So we might come back and do another bounce. Bounce a little bit lower in the short term. Uranium, another one. I'm just looking to see what the bounce is. So we've had this big pullback here. This is our bounce. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of selling pressure. Maybe we come back before heading higher. Camco putting in, let me go to the dailies here. Camco putting in bearish engulfing here, which usually resolves itself lower in the short term. So this is our big move lower, and then our bounce isn't as strong as the move on upward. So I do think that we are going to favor the downside here in the short term. Looking at Bannerman heading higher today. That one's looking okay. Looks decent. Goviak's putting in that bearish engulfing. We might head a little bit lower in the short term. We've got Global Atomic, another one that reversed throughout the day. We'll see if this heads a little bit lower. And again, guys, we're playing with statistical probabilities. On the short term, I don't play the short term. It's not reliable enough for me. So I play the big picture, big trend moves. Forces Metals moving on up. That one actually looks quite solid. Pure Point Uranium looks like we're almost kind of coming into some sort of squeezing pattern. We'll see which way that breaks. We've got Deep Yellow. Was moving up today. Looks okay. Paladin Energy moving on higher against that resistance line going across. We got to break through that. Sky Harbor. A little bit of an update. I don't really see too much here. And what I'm looking for are the buying pressure and selling pressure relationships. And I don't really see too much in some of these. Can Alaska kind of bouncing sideways. Next Gen Energy, this is a bearish engulfing pattern, usually resolves itself lower on the short term. Another one is this guy here is another one, so it comes back like that. We come on up and we'll probably pull back again. Is what I see in the short term. Base load getting a little bit of selling pressure throughout the day. That's why there's a wick at the top. We've got Fission 3.0, little wick at the top. Again, this one's not as big. These small companies are kind of hard to see. This is a bullish engulfing there. It's kind of trading back and forth, the buyers and sellers. Bullish engulfing here, little bloody noses on Fission, so that looks good to go higher based off statistical probabilities. Moving sideways in Kazatomprom. Peninsula moving sideways for the most part. I mean, it's an update today, but Boss Energy moving a little bit higher. We've got Consolidated Uranium throwing in a hammer pattern. Sometimes those are short-term topping patterns too. Looking at Lotus, this is a bearish engulfing. So we're getting mixed signals throughout here. Mixed signals. Uroi up a little bit. Encore Energy getting a bearish engulfing, which usually heads lower. What happens is they gap it in the morning and then sell off throughout the day, the stock. That's why we're getting these bullish engulfings. UUU momentum's lower. URG momentum's lower with the bearish engulfing, so we could go lower. I'm also looking to see if we're tightening up in this corner here. We might be a little bit for a move lower. In the very short term, guys, I'm not trying to scare anybody. UEC, a little bit of a bearish engulfing there. LEU, basically a flat day. Don't really see much there. LTVR, a little bit larger bearish engulfing. ISO Energy, bearish engulfing. They usually resolve themselves lower. Appia just going sideways. Denison Mines, a little bit of a bearish engulfing. Could potentially head lower. Blue Sky Uranium, it's just a down day. Forum Energy Metals moving sideways, slightly higher. Anfield just moving sideways. Laramide moving on up. We've got Western Uranium Vanadium moving on up, looking good. UEXCF coming right in support, or resistance, hitting that resistance line. Mega also hitting a little bit of resistance with the wick at the top, right above support. Standard Uranium getting sold off today. We've got Valor Metals getting sold off today. Elevate above support looking okay, little bloody nose. And then 92E just moving sideways. And looking at the uranium sector, it's a pretty big mixed bag. Camco, our leader, put in a bearish engulfing. So that's bearish in the short term. Which direction are we going here? I'm favoring a pullback more so than moving on higher for a lot of these. I saw the energy sector, oil, and all energy services kind of pull back off their high. So, man, I'm not doing anything with my shares. I'm just going to hold on. I'm going to ride this thing through. But short term, we're getting mixed signals. It's not the entire sector that looks like it wants to pull back. We've got some going up, some pulling back. But my guess would be overweighting Camco, and that decision would be probably we're going to head lower in the short term. Then eventually we'll probably do like a double bottom or something like that. And then we head on up again. That's my guess. Again, guys, remember, this is statistical probabilities. It's not 100% for sure outcomes. The short term's the hardest to read. You have the lowest probabilities of success in the very short term. Again, a lot of these are sitting on top of patterns, though. So it'd be a very short-term pullback before we move on up. At least that's what I would be projecting. So if you guys like this type of analysis, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website, the Platinum membership if you feel like supporting me. Up to you on what you want to do. And we are going to have a meeting next week. I should say this weekend coming up. It'll be Sunday, probably later in the day, because that's when I'll have time to do it. So it'll be somewhere around that time. I'll post it on the website. I'm going to work with some people and try to fix some things that I have on the website so everyone is getting things that I sticky in the right place and all that. So that'll come. Give me about a week or two. I'll get that all figured out and solved, and everything will be up and running just like normal. All right, guys, we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.